Sunday service. Yeah, hello. Sorry, it's been a while. I got super busy on the old Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and been to Milan, which was lovely. I really enjoyed Milan. I was very self-conscious about saying grazie when I arrived. It was all very grazie, grazie, grazie. And by the time I left, I was doing good old grazie with a nice roll to it. So, yeah, that was cool. Anyway, there's not been any Sunday services, Sunday servi for a while, just because of all that stuff. I will try to get them a little bit more regular again, just because I enjoy doing them. People seem to like them, and so let's try and keep them up. I'm going to get busy with Texas Chainsaw now. This is the year, unless anything changes I don't know about, this is the year that we're releasing the game. So I'm kind of on the beginning of a self-imposed crunch. The sumo knotting in my studio and gun. Nobody there is asking me to crunch. I want to make this game as awesome as possible. So I'm starting to go a little nuts in my free time to make sure that every aspect of it is as awesome as it should be for a legendary horror franchise. Because, oh my God, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Every day I have to pinch myself. I love it. So, so yeah, I may become a bit scarce here and there over the next, well, I don't know how long, over the next period of time. But I had two subjects I wanted to pick up on today. Normally I like to keep these to 5 minutes or less, but A, I haven't done one of these for a while, and B, I just feel like these are two interesting subjects I'd like to talk about. Number one is imposter syndrome, which I mentioned on Twitter last week and got a huge amount of interesting responses in all kinds of ways too. So I want to cover that. And the second thing is more of a game dev thing, but I'm sure it applies to other sort of creative industries as well, which I'm going to call combating the perpetual now, which is something I feel quite passionate about and always have done really in my time in the games industry. So first up, let's talk about imposter syndrome. So if you, like me, are a creative person, I still, and this is part of it really, I still can't bring myself to say an artist, because that just feels so pretentious, but I feel so proud on the flip side of that to call myself an artist. But yeah, don't know, that's a good start to the whole discussion of imposter syndrome. So I feel it massively all the time. I mean, this year I've had my music performed by one of London's best choirs at Abbey Road while I watched, and then I got nominated for a BAFTA, then I won another Games Award. I still feel like all those things are semi-flukes or on the back of other people's work and things like that. It's ridiculous. I really feel like, you know, sort of looking at it clinically, surely that's enough that I should be able to say to myself, you're probably all right at your job, chill out now. But I can't do it. Yeah, so I still feel all the time like someone's going to come bursting into a room going, he's not a real composer, get him out of here. And excuse me, I don't think that's ever going to change. With discussions on Twitter with other composers and other creatives and stuff, I think the consensus is pretty much everybody feels that. And I suppose the flip side of that, like the logical opposite, would be insane. Like if you knew with a you know, absolutely locked down, incredible confidence that you're amazing at your job and that everything you do is pure gold, you'd be a fucking psychopath. So maybe, yeah, I mean, but maybe it's not that. That's the extreme other side of it. I'm sure there are people like that. I'm pleased to say I don't know any. Like all of my composer friends are lovely people, and also like me, racked with self-doubt, I think. But I think uncertainty is good, and it's right. I mean, music's insane. Like I'll spend the rest of my life writing music and learning about music. And I know that whatever age I get to, I'll never feel like I know music. I'll always be learning, and I'll always be growing and trying new things. And so uncertainty and doubt and stuff like that, as long as they're not, really destroying your workflow and ruining your happiness, which is the most important thing, then I think they're healthy. Some interesting things people pointed out. A friend of mine, Matteo, that I worked with at Cloud Imperium, pointed out that we're guilty of comparing ourselves to experts in very niche parts of music as well, and I certainly am. I'll see someone play beautiful, whatever, Spanish guitar, saxophone, piano, and I just immediately filled with irritation at myself for not being better at that instrument. I was like, I could dedicate time each day to learning that. And then I'll see someone writing some, sort of disco music, electronic music, orchestral music, and all of those people, I'm furious at myself at not being as good as they are at their thing. And it's ridiculous. Like, as a game composer, you need to be able to cover a lot of styles and have, sort of a jack of all trades approach, which feels a bit like a pejorative thing, but it's not really. Like, I don't know why I can't be proud that I can write a little bit of, orchestral music, a little bit of industrial music. I can try my hand at a touch of jazz. I can do a little bit of folk music. That should be a good thing, but yeah, just because of that stupid imposter syndrome, I just feel like I'm not good enough at any one thing. I think the key message that came from Twitter was, we all feel it. It sucks. You just have to remember that everyone feels it, and that it's natural and it's ridiculous. So try and use it to grow, I guess. Just if you have a bad day and you feel like you just suck at music or whatever your art form is, maybe just take the day to, or as soon as you can, take some time to learn a new aspect of your craft. Just watch a tutorial on piccolos or jazz or like nosebleed techno, whatever it is that you feel like you don't know a lot at the moment and you'd be interested in learning. Do that. So I think that's it. But to all of you like me out there spending way too much time thinking that you're secretly shit at music, just, you got to teach yourself to chill out a little bit. You're awesome, and music's an art form, and you whatever you bring to it is yours, and you should be proud of that. The second thing is, this is more of a game dev thing, but I feel like this probably applies to all kinds of creative industries, is something I call the perpetual now, which is a real problem in the games industry. That a lot of people aren't very good at seeing things in a long-term perspective. Like, it's difficult, particularly I think with audio, because musicians and sound designers, we can put things into a game or into a film as well. I'm sure this applies to as well. And we can have in our heads that, that's an early version of it. There will be a better version, and I can hear in my head what that's going to sound like, but that's not what it sounds like at the moment. But let's pop this in, and it gives us like a basis to work from, and we can get a feel for it. But you get a lot of people in the games industry that just aren't very good at imagining how things will be. They want the present to be the final product, and it very much isn't. And as game development gets longer, and it really is getting longer as the games get bigger, you really do have to have a lot of confidence in yourself and your work. It's important, and enough so that you can put something that's in its early unsculpted form into the game, just so you can start playing with it. And that in itself is important. You need to just slap the paint onto the canvas and get a sense of it. But you need to do that, and then you may find yourself having people saying that placeholder VO isn't very good. Could we get better placeholder VO? Or that music sounds kind of weird. Like, is it finished? there's never any need for contention here. All that anybody wants in the video games industry as devs, and I'm sure in equivalent industries, is for everything to be as good as possible. But I think you do need to be sort of polite but firm with people in that saying, no, I'm not changing that at the moment. This is going to get changed over time. I know how it's going to sound. It's in my head already. Just don't worry about it and don't obsess about it and, generate loads of meaningless work in the meantime, trying to get you to iterate on something that you know is going to be fixed in the long term. When I was sort of in my early days in the industry, people would ask for like really complicated things while they're sort of just feeling out. They'd want like final sounding audio for a feature that definitely wasn't anywhere near final. That kind of stuff you need to just not say yes to if you don't feel like it's the right time to commit to it that heavily. And the opposite side of that is, if you've got stuff that you're working on in a long, slow way, you need to make people understand that, and they need to learn to live with the sound that's in development and is being iterated on constantly, because I feel like that's the best way to make really, really awesome sound design. And it's a luxury you don't get if you're a freelancer working for a games company, because then you have to just deliver something awesome, and you rarely get a chance to, because they're paying for a product, and you don't really get a chance to sort of see how that sits and develop it and stuff like that. So it's a very, very important luxury of being a part of an in-house games development team, is that you can put something in, listen to how it sounds in context, alter, tweak, build it over time, and iterate again and again and again and again. I mean, it's what I've done for Texas Chainsaw. Like, every aspect of the game I've iterated on obsessively. Like, everything in the game has had so many stages of development again and again till I feel like the language is right and the feel is right. And I love that. So, don't be afraid to, like I say, slap the paint on the canvas and see what happens. If it sucks, take it out again. But just don't let other people put you off that sense of experimentation and iteration, I guess is what I'm saying. There we go. 2 things I feel pretty passionately about. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Again, I'm really trying to make these in particular, and anything that I do on YouTube, really make it sort of an open-ended thing that we can chat about. So please put any of your thoughts in the comments, or any questions, and any other like subjects you'd like to hear me discuss. Just bung them in there and we can talk about them. And please do, if it's okay, just like and subscribe. If you subscribe to this, then you get to see all the lovely new things that I'm going to do. My next big thing I'm planning is I'd love to do a big hands-on tutorial of doing gore sound design, because I make a lot of horror games, a lot of sci-fi and stuff. I think I've got some really cool tips that I could share with you guys in that area. So the next thing will be a sound design tutorial, hopefully in the area of gore and guts and slashy, horrible, awesome grossness. So I'll see you guys for that, and catch you later.